A lot of times we stick to just being around people that are we're comfortable being around. Some people that we see in the neighborhood, you know, that person that's just like that older person, right? They saying what up to you. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? And it's always nothing but love. But at the same time, you just understand that look, they cool and all, but they're just doing the same thing every day, and that's not what you're doing. That's not what you represent. But it comes to a point in your life where you're seeing things that's different, right? Like for example, like you may working and you are getting that promotion, that promotion where you're reaching that six figures. Even if you're making that side, you make it five figures a month. You know what I mean? It's just like, whoa, it's just like, okay, that's all it takes to make that. And you see how simple it is, right? But we're around people, we're surrounded by people, they'll live up to just see three figures in a week, which is no problem. But realistically, it's like, yo, those three figures that they seen every week, it could be a 200, 300. That's all they see. But you a person that's just elevating. You're becoming that person that that most people, you know what I mean, did not think that you were going to be. But you, on the other hand, you seen what it took, and then also too, you kept it on the hush. Like you didn't tell nobody what you was getting into. You were just so focused on your dreams and your goals, and you were just grinding. You were just hustling. But these same people, they were doing the same thing every day. Let's talk about it. Before I get into the video, let me introduce myself. This is Gene, your best friend, your new best friend, and I forgot. Let me fix it up. This is Gene, your best friend, your new best friend, and I invite you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. My bad, guys. I'm just all over here, just like, just editing everything and, just writing things down, and I'm just all over the place. But today we're going to talk about breaking generational curses means breaking away from familiar faces. Now, like I said, these faces that you see all the time, they're not so bad. They cool. You know what I mean? For example, like I said, that old man, that guy that's at the store, the corner store every time you pass him by. That cousin, you know what I mean? Not all the time that we have people in our family that we just don't like, and they mean bad for us, but sometimes they're just doing the same thing every day. And you like being around these people. You love the fact that, hey, these people bring joy into your life, but you're an individual that's just going somewhere, and you're gonna have to leave that hometown. You're gonna have to leave that house that you are in, because most of them only live to see for the weekend. They only live to see just for that upcoming week, that concert that they want to go to. But you as an individual, you're past that. You are working on yourself enough to just, you're elevating to the point where you see yourself next year from now, you see yourself 10 years from now, and you're working on this project, you're working on this goal that's gonna get you and your family to the next level, right? You're making a name for that last name of yours. But those people in your life just don't see it. They just don't see it. They're just like, you living in, la la land. You're not seeing, like, okay, you're gonna miss this party that going on. You know who's gonna be there. You sitting there like, okay, yo, who's gonna be there? Yo, Tammy from the shop is gonna be there. You think it's gonna be like a celebrity? Tammy from it's probably in their land world. Tammy from the shop, you know Tammy. Ladies, they'll come at you and say, yeah, everybody's gonna be there. Who's gonna be there? Lamar from down the street. He's talking about Lamar down the street. And the way they make things look, it look like it's bigger than life. And it's like, for you, it's just like, yo, I'm working on making $100,000 a year. All I need is only one more. All I need is 6 months left, and I get this degree, and I got a job waiting for me. You get where I'm coming from? You got 5-figure, 6-figure deals that you're gonna be making a week, in days, with clients. And then you sit here and then somebody's talking about what they got going on this weekend and how this person looked at them and now they got beef. And this is one of the reasons why that you as a person, you have to break away from these type of people. People that only live for to see tomorrow. People that live to only see the week. And if it's really that good for them, they live in to see that next that week, following week, and that next month for that concert they're going to. But you're making a name for your family. Like I said again, you as a person, you're focused on being healthy. You're juicing like me. Like right now, I'm juicing right now, y'all. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Believe it or not a lot of people can relate to that. It's like, yo, why are you juicing? Because you want to cleanse yourself. You want healing. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are just not going to get that. They're so used to just eating the junk that they're used to. And don't get me wrong, man, I can enjoy some junk food right now. You know what I mean? I can enjoy some chips. I said chips. I can enjoy eating a burger right now and some pizza. But hey, my health is my wealth, if that makes sense. Because a lot of times I got things that's going on myself, right? I got things that I'm doing myself, and I'm doing things to better for the future. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are just not gonna see it. You were working on that business. Those people that you have to break away from, and that family member, they don't mean. Most likely, they probably don't mean bad for you, right? Because we all have that person that we really love and we really care for. They may just see that business that you're doing is just a hobby. And even if you're making money from that business, right? They're gonna look at it like, oh, businesses fail within 2 to 5 years. So it's like you're pretty much, you can't win with these type of people. But the person that you need to get away from, get around, is that person who actually has a business that's been doing it for the past 20, 30, 40 years, and they could put you onto game, and they inviting you with open arms and putting you onto. And guess what? You become successful, you get away from the family, and then when they reach back out or they need some type of help, when you reach that level that you are in and where you going, you can hire that family member. And guess what? You end up proving them wrong. And it's like, dang, I didn't, wow. I mean, if they admit it, but where I'm going with this is this. Those familiar faces that you see all the time, and those people that's around you, and you know what I mean, and those friends. Let's talk about it, friends. Those people that you call BFF, and the people that you love dearly, and it's like, yo, you can't live without them. A lot of times, sometimes, let's be real. A lot of friends that you do have aren't meant to be really in your life. They're just supposed to be there just for the moment or that season. But we tend to just keep them around and try to, hold them, and you see that they ain't going nowhere. And just because you've grown up with that person doesn't mean that person is supposed to be around you all the time. That friend of yours can be that millionaire that you see, that person who had multiple businesses, and that person can be it can guide you to be where you want to be, or she. And you end up being friends with them. Guess what? You're colleagues now. You're putting each other up on game. But guess what? You're so busy, stuck around being the same people that you've been around for the past 2, 3, 10, 20 years, and you wondering why you can't elevate. And this is one of the reasons why we call breaking generational curses. If somebody in your life is not currently healthy, and all they do is drink and smoke, and all they doing is bringing negativity in your life, and you're used to being around them, but you just don't feel right. You feel depressed. You feel like, yo, you just don't understand but you breaking away from them, staying away from them, and showing, making a difference, and just, hey, That's what it's all about, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? You're not gonna elevate being around these type of people. All right? It doesn't mean that they're bad people. It doesn't mean that they mean well for you. But at the same time, it's just, yo, you wanna get away from people, be around people that are like-minded, and that's gonna get you're gonna get to that level where you need to be, if that makes sense. All right. So again, that's the end of the video. And if you like this video, I invite you guys to please like, share, and subscribe to your best friend, your new best friend, and also in the comment below, description below as well. Keep up with the latest luxury styles and trends at gorgeous271.com. All right. Again, the title, yo, breaking generational curses means breaking away from familiar faces. All right. I just wrote it down because sometimes I'll be all over the place. All right. That's the title of the video. All right. Peace.